Hello, welcome to another edition of What the Papers Are Saying, where we look at the big stories for the week. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I'll run you through the stories that made the headlines for this week, and then we'll delve into them. Do stay with us. So welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. This week, issues to do with Ghanaian sports or issues around that industry has made a lot of headlines, starting from that to do with the para-athletics scandal, among others. So let's see how that story, for example, was captured by the various media outlets. We'll start with citynewsroom.com. It says, independent body must probe Norway para-athletics scandal. Van der Poel speaking. That's the former sports minister. And then also ChannelOneNews.com. I cannot be held responsible for Norway's scandal. The sports minister speaking over there. So some few stories around that. We'll move away from that and we'll go to the story to do with the Speaker of Parliament getting the Marshals of Parliament to walk out the Member of Parliament for Sefiria. So that's Dr. Kweku Efriye. How was that story captured? Daily Guide, for example, says angry Bagbin sacks MP from House. Daybreak, Sefiria MP rejects apology to Bagbin. And then we go to citynewsroom.com, apologize to our MP or face our wrath, Sefiria residents to Bagbin. And finally on citynewsroom.com, Bagbin's part with Sefiria MP unfortunate. That's a SEPA speaking over there. Away from that, we'll take you or still stay with Parliament because the Finance Minister presented the mid-year budget review to Parliament. And let's see the stories around his statement from the budget. Citynewsroom.com, for example, says don't burden Ghanaians with road tolls and e-levy cuts international to government. Daily Graphic, mid-year budget review, missed opportunity to abolish taxes, minority asserts. Still with the mid-year budget review, Daily Graphic says mid-year budget review, Minister unveils growth strategy. The Ghanaian Times says 2024 mid-year fiscal policy review, government vows to spend within budget, cuts expenditure by 2.1%. The New Finder, 30 billion Ghana cedis disbursed in 6 months, growth revised up to 3.1% from 2.8%. Road tolls property tax to be reintroduced in 2025. Dr. Amin speaking, still to do with the New Finder. ChannelOneNews.com, mid-year budget, Ghana's economy on autopilot, Ato Forsen speaking. And finally, on the City Newsroom, Minority invites Bawumia to debate 2024 mid-year budget review. So those are some of the stories around the budget. We'll move away from that. Our final story to do with the cement price regulations. Been running for about 3 weeks. What's the latest to that story? The New Finder, LI can't fix city depreciation, which is causing cement price hikes. ChannelOneNews.com, Katie Hammond orders cement manufacturers out of meeting Chamber of Construction. And then ChannelOneNews.com again, LI on cement pricing needed to curb excessive profiteering. Katie Hammond speaking over there. So those are some of the stories for this week. So let me introduce my guest for today. Samuel Atamensa is here with us at City FM and City TV. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then we have Selim Adoni also here with us at City FM and City TV. Selim, welcome.
Thank you, Vivian.
Okay. So guys, I would think it's fair to start with the Norway issue to do with the, some para-athletes, we are told, who were supposed to represent Ghana. And it turned out that they were not the ones to represent Ghana, and then they bolted when they got to Norway. Now, the latest to it, the sports minister says his outfit cannot be held responsible for what happened. He believes that the Norwegian embassy didn't do the needful in checking to make sure these people were the ones who were supposed to represent Ghana. There's a back and forth over that. Who will go first with this story started developing on Saturday I think it was on Saturday we saw the letter from National Security, you know, to the ministry and all that. Salom, you go? Okay, you have the letter actually.
Yes, I think it's a bizarre situation. I still fully don't understand how the things...
How it happened?
How it happened, how it's panning out and all of that. So there was a competition also, and they said amputees were to take part. As far as I know, or as we hear, there was no formal invitation to Ghana to participate. Maybe, I don't know how it happened. And so some people were put together as a team, Ghana team, found their way to get visas. They went and absconded. Unfortunately, their coach died. You know, I think it raises a number of issues, what the protocols really are in matters like this. So when you have an invitation to partake in a certain sports, how do you go about it? The federation will write to maybe the NSA, the National Sports Authority, and then writes to the Youth and Sports Ministry. Youth and Sports Ministry will write to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and then the Foreign Affairs Ministry will engage its diplomatic, counterparts to secure visas for them. So the question is, did this particular one also go through all these processes? Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe yes, because it went through these processes in a way, in a fake way, because we are hearing that a lot of the things they use were fake. They
forged signatures,
forged signatures, etc., forged letters, letterheads, and all of that. So it makes it difficult it makes the whole thing murky and quite difficult. So, for example, the minister is saying that he cannot take the blame, but he is rather blaming the Norwegian, embassy that they were not prudent and all of that. I think these are quite strong words from a state official to a diplomatic mission. I don't think he should have gone that far.
But if there's a system they use, and the embassy is supposed to be aware of that system.
So I'm coming to that. So that's why we need to know what the protocols are. Normally, when things like this happen and letters come from the appropriate quarters to the mission, does the mission call back to check whether these names are correct? If that is a practice, and they didn't do it this time around, then you can blame them. But if the practice is such that because it's coming from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the state,
we don't check.
There may be no need to check. If our Foreign Affairs Ministry will present a list to a diplomatic mission and they have to go back and check, then it raises a lot of credibility and integrity problems for us as a country. So I don't think they check. I'm not sure. I don't know if they check. And then you can even tell me, because if reporters or journalists from here are traveling outside for programs and you give an introductory letter,
they let them
so they don't call back to check if the journalist works with you. So that's even a private organization. So if it's from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I don't think the mission should call back to check if these guys are from there. If that is the practice, or if they will be doing that, then it means they have no credibility. We don't have credibility.
I think that the problem is the letter. The letter on which the thing was written was on the ministry's letterhead.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
No, on the sports ministry.
Okay, so the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
There has to be the final one from the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Okay.
So that gives them the green light that it's coming from us. So if it ended with the sports ministry, that's not the usual protocol.
Okay, so
that's where he feels that they didn't
that's
go
fine.
to.
I don't know how many times we've had competitions in Norway. It may be a way they handle it. I don't know whether all ministries do same. If a Ministry of Finance wants to travel, I don't know whether they go to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. I do not know. But if the established protocols are that you have to go through the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and everybody knows that, and this particular one did not come from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, then I think the embassy or the foreign mission will have to answer a few questions. But, so it makes the position of the minister a bit difficult. He said he will not accept responsibility simply because he's sports minister, and because these guys came under the banner of amputee sports, etc. He should accept responsibility. These are criminal, activities. So why should he accept responsibility for criminal activities? I can understand it from that side, but given that a lot of the things used were purportedly from his ministry, letterheads, etc., I think he has to have some introspection. He has to have some work done in this ministry to understand how the things happen that way.
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult.
Okay.
When
I'll come back to you. Let me take some initial remarks on this as well. With all the people that are coming into it, Foreign Affairs Ministry, we've still not heard from them whether they'll tell us, okay, the letter came from them or it was forged or not. And then the minister saying that, wait a minute, it didn't come from me, don't hold me responsible for that. And then, what's his name? The guy in charge of the Paralympic thing saying that, something saying, I didn't sign, it was forged as well. The whole fray and everything happening.
I think it's just a very negative picture on the image of the country. In terms of even athletes that will run away, it's nothing new, to be honest. It's nothing new. Every major tournament that would involve participation from third world countries will register some athletes bolting off. And so the question of, from 2006. I mean, it dates back, but in recent past, you have 2006, 2012, there's the London Olympics, you had Melbourne Olympics 2016, you had, every major tournament, people just, as we say, they gun. They just,
should it continue?
So,
is it right?
I'm making a point. That, it will continue. It's not going to stop because, you see, there are two major issues that people are running away from. Security or the lack of it, insecurity in their countries, and then poverty in their countries. So, and if you are able to tick these boxes, the destination country will accept you anyway. So that's why people do that. You understand? 2016, 27 people bolted away from Australia. Cameroonians. Same 2016, London Marathon. The young Sierra Leonean lady, what's her name? Mami Lahum. She won the race. she won the race and ran off. And that was it. I mean, people do it. But this is what I am observing. People are trying to create businesses out of it. Okay, because they've seen it happen, people have schemed and put structures in place. Okay, it's possible that the ministry, as they say, they are not aware of it. It's possible that indeed, officially, they were not aware of it. It's also possible that there are people within their setup who have made it their business to create letterheads and forge signatures. It's all over the system, private sector, public sector, it's all over. So it's possible that somebody sat at the National Sports Authority who had not been mandated to do that, has created a business of using dubious means to secure visas, and they have the schedule of all tournaments. I'm telling you, they know which tournament is happening. They can advise you which one is easier to get a visa, and then they will even advise you how you can bolt.
When you get there.
Vivian, I remember one of them, one of the Commonwealth Games. Somebody from Sudan went for the Commonwealth Games. In fact, London Commonwealth Games, he walked to the police station even before the opening ceremony. Even before the opening ceremony, he said that I've come for asylum. So it's happening, and we've seen it happen over. But where it's gotten to now is people are creating businesses out of it. Now, question, is it going to stop? It's not going to stop if nobody ever gets punished. You understand? I hear the minister when he says, I am not responsible for it. Indeed, we are not accusing you of having orchestrated it, but the buck stops with you. You cannot say that you are not responsible. Indeed, we are not saying that you signed it off or you made it happen. But if you, the minister, you say you are not responsible, who should we be questioning? The president?
He says the embassy didn't do their work.
Do you have a pact with the embassy? Do you have an agreement with the embassy? The embassy, they have the way they do their things. If the letter comes from Foreign Affairs for diplomatic considerations, they will just pass it. Okay? If the minister speaks like that, the next batch of proper people
They won't get to.
who are going, they are going to be frustrated. Okay, you made a point. So far, maybe we missed it. We haven't heard the Foreign Affairs Ministry make a statement on it. If they did, then maybe we have missed it here. But you expect that the Foreign Affairs Ministry, being the interface between the country and the foreign missions, they should be telling us something.
Yeah.
Nobody has condemned anything. Nobody. I mean, look. So we are left as media to just conjecture, and I don't know how it's going to help us. But if people don't get punished, this thing is going to increase in the degree of embarrassment. It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, the Australian games where we sent some people, is it that one we sent journalists, people
Yeah,
as
that they
journalists,
couldn't even use a recorder.
and they went, I heard they got to the, they asked them, how would you write a story?
Pen and
They said
paper.
you write, you use pen and paper.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was one, two, we heard deaf and dumb people were taken to the place. They were actually not. And then now they were Shin Jama and things. How can deaf and dumb people forget themselves and be Shin Jama? You know, so like someone is saying, people have to be punished. In all these instances, we've not really seen any serious punishment meted out to people who were found culpable. I don't know if anybody was found culpable at all.
Yeah.
We need to find people who are culpable and punish them. They said one guy has been arrested.
Yeah.
We need to find from him how they got to be part of the thing, which people were involved. We can find out if we want to, and see how things happen. I also heard about the coach who died, and the fact that his relatives also ran away. Has that been confirmed?
Well, it's not. I've seen, that another, well, I asked the sports guys to confirm this evening. The supposed brother saying that it's not true.
It's
They've
not
not sent it. They even want his body cremated. So I'm not sure about.
If people purported to have come through the government offices to Norway, somebody passes on, and within a space of 3 weeks, a family of 2 or 4 are able to apply for Schengen visa, secure Schengen visa, and then get into Norway within the 3 weeks. You go try applying for Schengen visa, and whether
You'll be able to.
you'll be. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, once I heard it, I knew
It's
that
not-
this
it
is one
wasn't
somebody making up the
It
story.
wasn't true.
You know, but that aside, I think it's still we joke too much in this country with these things. People will laugh about it, make jokes out of it,
And move on.
and then that's it. You understand? But the minister cannot say that nobody should hold him responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are not holding you responsible to the effect that you have caused it. But you ask yourself the question as a minister, that if we should not ask you questions, who should we ask the questions? The IGP? That thing is coming from your stable. The National Sports Authority isn't under the Ministry of
yeah.
Sports.
They said those letters were fake.
Very well. They were fake. I can understand how it will be fake. But can we investigate to know how we came about the fake letters?
Yeah.
Did they emanate from National Lottery Authority? So let's find out. Because this is how they put the schemes on the blind side of the ministers and those in charge. So we need to go through this so it doesn't happen again. Because look, today we are talking about it. Tomorrow it may even be worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people really need to be punished. And for me, it's the effect it will have on our image internationally. That's a problem for us. So now if you're a Ghanaian traveling somewhere, I mean, people begin to look at you a certain way. I mean, because, yes, these things happen. But, of course, even in the tournament in Brazil, people went, they never came back. And some said there was war in their country. They didn't want to come. They wanted asylum and all of that. But if we don't find a way to stop it, those ones, people were officially taken to the tournament and they didn't want to come back. But this one appears like a criminal scheme that is trying to get people somewhere.
Well
and the 11 people, one coach. I don't know if the coach was a proper coach or not. But normally we see a lot of officials, non-athlete officials as part of the team. in this case, I don't hear any official
part of the contingent
like that. So I don't know, but I think we really need to. The one person they've arrested. We really need to investigate and see how it emanated. If he paid money, who he paid the money to, how it worked. Let's arrest that whole ring and see if we can break it.
So what I was also
progress.
thinking,
You see, this is nothing new.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. It happens on daily basis, on weekly basis. I think for us, our problem is coming from a state institution, Ministry of Sports, National Sports Authority, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I mean, those are the areas of concern.
Yeah.
Because look, musicians are doing it. Musicians, they say they are going to perform, they carry people, they take, what do you call it, visa connection money, and the people never come back. Drama troops are doing it. Drama troops, bands, yeah, many years ago, Ozimzim.
Oh yeah.
The people, they went and they never came back.
Oh yeah.
They go all the time, people do it. But when it moves to the area of government, then it becomes embarrassing.
I was just thinking, you know, so they had a coach and then they had the rest of the people. Did they travel together? And is it that nobody knew either in the team?
And they said they were not be registered for the games.
Yeah, I don't even know
But it's
how.
connection. It's
So we
connection.
are-
So it's connection.
And you see, so the mission to, I mean, didn't they, because if it's your country and there's a game there are games or some activity there, wouldn't you want to find out if these guys are part of or have registered or Ghana is part of,
The
you know,
Maybe they submitted everything.
everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's it.
it's a very
It's for
elaborate.
the-
Yeah,
It's
very-
actually one thing that we have not confirmed. For the National Sports Authority to tell us that indeed the person that died
Yeah.
It's a proper coach.
is a proper
Yeah.
coach in their books.
Yeah, so the proper coach was going with people who were not part
I'm not
of
sure it's a
this
proper
No,
coach.
coaching.
what I'm
That
saying is
hasn't
that
been confirmed.
has,
The guy-
has the ministry confirmed that this person
It's a proper
who
coach.
passed on
Or it's a coach's
is-
name.
I think, yeah,
Proper
that they said.
No, because most of the stories, the coach is in quotes or is in inverted commas.
Really? I
So
thought
we
they
need that
confirmed that
confirmation.
one.
Because if it's a proper coach, why was he going with fake
Because
people?
that's what I was saying. Was he sitting with fake people, knowing that these people are fake? And
Well, that's
Wow.
if you were a proper coach and you went with fake people, that even opens up, you know,
A
another
lot more,
angle to
yeah.
it. Unfortunately, he himself.
gone.
I
chose
think he
this
was
path.
just designated as a coach because the team must have a coach. So I think he was just designated as a coach. I don't know.
There
We
are
need a
too
sports
many answers
authority.
to be-
Yes, and we need a
questions
proper.
to be
The
answered.
minister's press conference is not answered all the questions.
At all.
It should have been a proper press conference with
A
a lot of
Q&A,
information,
yeah.
and even representatives of Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Yeah.
The minister will speak for NSA,
Yeah.
but we needed more information. Who were these? Was he a proper coach? Were they? I mean, did they indeed register for the games? What happened? You know, Ghana's place at the games. If Ghana really registered, what happened? We need to really understand all of that. But it does appear that
People do this
information.
all the time. As we speak now.
somebody's plotting.
Somebody's
And
plotting.
watching us and say they're much like. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic to do with Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament and the MP for Sefiri also. We saw some interesting. Is it on Monday also? Monday, right? Where he walked him out for questioning something he had said. I mean, it was very interesting. One we saw on TV. People say that the speaker is becoming too, too powerful and it treats them like children and all
But
that.
they call him Fada. Fada.
You know,
I think
what are your thoughts on
when
this whole
I mean, I read the story. I was expecting to see something very explosive, like something explosive. The MP said. So, I mean, I saw the speaker in his usual way trying to explain things. So I think there was a Supreme Court
on whether
nomination
they
thing he was
should,
trying to read
They
to the
should
people
go
also.
beyond
Yes,
just-
and he was trying to pass his usual comments. And then the MP stood and said that he thought,
didn't lie in his
you know,
mouth.
he was trying to teach them their work more or less,
Yeah.
and he didn't lie in his mouth to say the things he was saying. It started like because the way he called him showed that there was some respect they had between themselves. And I don't know how it happened, and the speaker just flipped.
Initially said no, then the next one
got angry.
Yeah, Marshall should come in.
I thought it could have been handled a bit better. I thought maybe there was an overreaction. I mean, I thought it could have been handled better. They could disagree and say, no, you won't tell me what to do. And so I'm going ahead to say it the way I know. You know, but again, others also think that once in a while you need these kinds of things to put people on their toes in the house. But I actually thought there was a bit of an overreaction. I thought Speaker could have handled it, maybe upon hindsight, could have handled it a bit better. I didn't think he had to walk him out, given the circumstances. I didn't think it was grievous enough to merit, you know, the way he was walked out. And in fact, once the marshal was called, the gentleman just packed his things and quickly took the leave. And
the marshal too was in a hurry to sack.
Yes, he's been commanded by the boss. You know, he's been commanded by the boss. He must be seen to be doing something. But I actually think there was a bit of an overreaction from the side of the speaker, really. You know, I think so.
Okay, some overreaction or the MP to...
Well, I think all in all, it was just an unfortunate spectacle. It was an unfortunate spectacle because seeing that the Dr. Free in question is an experienced legislator, if I should put, one of the most hardworking members of parliament that we've seen in the last 20 years or so, being Minister for Lands, being Minister for Health, Minister Environment, being a Member of Parliament 3 or 4 times. So he's somebody who's familiar with the terrain, okay? And I would imagine that the Speaker, even if he wanted to make an example, he probably, you know, killing a housefly with a sledgehammer. I thought that, but it's just how things go around and come around, you know. I noticed that, you know, in preparing for this, I just went on and I saw this story, old story on Ghana Web, Thursday, the 6th of February, 2003. Thursday, February 6th. Says that Mr. Alban Bagbin, minority leader, on Thursday declared war on the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Peter Alajete, for attacking his personal integrity. He said that the Speaker has attacked his integrity and he will go after him. The people elected me as a Member of Parliament and I elected him as a Speaker and I lead the minority. He cannot attack me on the floor of the House and refuse me a chance to reply. Unless the Speaker apologizes to me, I'll go after him.
Oh, wow.
This is from Ghana Web, 6th of February 2003. So I'm just saying that at times we just need to calm down on some of these things. And like Selom was saying, I think it would have just been enough the Speaker asserting his authority and making his point. But sacking him for this, I think it was a bit of a stretch. In fact, not a bit.
Doesn't it look like there are a bit of some undertones somewhere? There
may be, but even if there were undertones, you still did not look good in pushing it this far by sacking the Member of Parliament for a few years. So I don't think it looked good.
And like I was saying, the way when he rose to his feet, the way he called him to make his intervention showed there was some level of respect. I don't know what the other
even when he was leaving, he bowed.
Yes, I mean that's in respect to the authority of the Speaker. So I don't know, but I think it sets a very interesting precedent. So what happens if somebody is challenging the Speaker? We've seen Mutaka do it. We've seen quite a number of people do it. Or Seche Mensah-Bonsu. We've seen quite a number of people do it. So is this going to be the norm? And what happens if somebody does something more serious than this and you don't walk the person out? You know, and are we going to be seeing situations where the least, you know, at the least provocation or least event, somebody's walked out? What happens to Parliament as a place for debate and a place for democracy and a place for arguments and a place for disagreement? I think,
did he challenge the Speaker?
No, he didn't. He didn't challenge the Speaker. So, because what we say is that Parliament is a place of debate. Parliament is a place of disagreement, a place That's why sometimes what you say on the floor cannot even be used against you. They have their own ways of dealing with it. So even if this did not degenerate to argument and challenge, but the gentleman suffered this, I'm wondering what will happen if a situation of challenge and disagreement and name calling and things arise.
They'll call the police.
So
and then he said that the man says, "I am here
on behalf of
on behalf of the
people of CPU also."
Like
And
Ghana.
then he responds that
the whole
I'm
Ghana.
also here for whole
The whole
Ghana.
Ghana.
You are 2003. You said that the people voted for you, and you voted for the speaker. Years down the line, you have to reverse it to make a point.
Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, I think this one you overstretched it.
But I think it won't be out of character for Babin to address the issue. You know, I think it would be nice for him to do so because of the precedent that it may set if it's not addressed. Because we will see more difficult times in Parliament. And you don't want a situation where people will be telling you that, why didn't you sack this person, but you sacked this person? Is it because you belong to this side? No. So I know he can have a way around it to address the matter, you know, and they move on.
It appears he would have to, because the MP says he won't apologize.
I mean, he has to. Or they can have a meeting and they'll decide on what to do. And they have this, their conclave
but
or business meetings.
the MP's side, they apologize on his behalf. So perhaps they think that.
Well, I don't know, but
You know,
these things happen every
probably
time.
stayed a bit-
In court, different lawyer is making a point, and another lawyer,
Begging for the person.
I mean, it happens. So maybe he didn't want the disruption to
drag.
continue, or he didn't want it to drag. So he felt that apologizing was the way to go. But I doubt if it was a person like Osechi Mensah-Bonsu in the seat at the time, he would have apologized. I don't know. Maybe there are some undertones we don't know. So maybe there are some things they know. But I didn't think he had to necessarily apologize. But perhaps he apologized because, you know, he wanted the things to move on. But I think they should find a way of addressing it, really. They should find a way of addressing. The speaker should find a nice way of addressing the matter on the floor. And maybe he could say he think he went a bit too far. It will not be out of character for Speaker Babin to do so. I mean, at all. He's done other things. And I'm sure if he feels that he went overboard, he should be able to say so easily.
Okay, I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at the cement price issue still making a lot of rounds in the media. And then we'll look at some abundant projects around the sports fraternity. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Evan Kai, local here with Samuel Tamens as well as Salamadon. We're looking at the big stories for the week. Guys, let's move to the budget quickly. I think we can just touch quickly on the reintroduction of the road tolls. Let me start with you, Samens. Do we have to bring this thing back? We've moved on with our lives.
I think we have to, first of all, address the challenges that actually necessitated the suspension or the cancellation of the road tolls. The question is, do those challenges still exist? If they exist, how are we addressing them?
Yeah.
And the manner in which we were collecting tolls, if you check the world over, are people still collecting tolls the way we are doing? Is it efficient enough? You know, so yes, the whole idea, I mean, you can't invest in roads and not collect tolls. So in the first place, the whole idea of cancelling it was a non-starter. And we said it right here in the studio. We didn't get the context, we didn't get the logic. So at this point, I am happy that they say they will bring it back, but they can't bring it back with a polish on debt attitude. You know, a lot of things would have to happen. The road infrastructure itself, how we are going to reconstruct the booths, introduction of electronic tolling systems. You know, University of Ghana campus has proven that it is doable in Ghana here. And if University of Ghana is doing it and it's working, we should be able to do it anywhere else. And there are IT companies in this country. Nobody should tell us that because we say they should use IT, they should go and bring some company from
foreign
some
company.
India or somewhere to come and cause confusion here. there are companies in Ghana that can create systems for smooth running of these things so that it will be more efficient.
Yeah.
You understand? Because this brick and mortar approach to road tolls, where somebody will take the ticket and then they will recycle the ticket, and then at the end of the day, they are not even able to account for how much was raised. It should be a thing of the past. Yes, if it should come, let it come, but let it be better than where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, when you travel the world over, I mean, road tolls are important, and especially now that we are saying that private sector should be given some role in the construction of roads. If private sector is to construct road, I mean, they are not Father Christmas. They will do so because they will want, return on their investment. And the way to do it is to make them toll the roads they construct. We've not really seen any private sector road construction in Ghana yet, but that appears to be the next level that the two major political parties are talking about. So it means that from 2025 onwards, we are likely to see things like that happening. So we can't say no to road tolls. It's important, but again, it's painful to pay money. Where in some cases where you pay the toll, you actually stop in a pothole whilst you pay the tolls, or just on the stretch, you see potholes all over. The optics in that case or in that sense will become important. I use the Dodowa Road, for example, where around the Amrahia toll booth, the potholes there, very, very huge, gaping potholes. You stand in the pothole and pay road toll. It doesn't make sense. And it causes traffic. So when you're in the traffic, you are angry, you are driving in potholes, paying tolls, and you don't know what the toll is being used for. It's not nice, it's not attractive. So I think, yes, the tolls should come back, but they should try and address some of these, problems. Where you are taking the tolls, make the place nice and make the place convenient, so that the people paying the tolls will not. Nobody likes to pay money. It will be lighter on the people, or the burden will be lighter.
Let us see what is being used.
So they really have to do that. The electronic thing they talk about, they have to make it work this time around. I mean, somebody tearing tickets for you here and there. It's not a way to go. We need to find a better way of doing it. I don't know how they want to do it, but there must be a better way of doing it, which will be more efficient. We should take out the corruption and people, and enhance accountability.
But then that means
and
we are getting rid of the disabled team. That there was a deliberate thing to put them.
But where are they?
They are at home.
But disabled people were not born just to do road toll work. No, seriously, there are, if you like, better value-laden services that we can engage people who are disadvantaged. You understand? I mean, just go and dump them at that they should do road ticketing by itself. It's not the most honorable thing. There are other areas. So now that they've been home for how many, 2 years, 3 years, what should happen to them? You understand? I mean, for me, when this policy was introduced, the one that really annoyed me was the fact that you have all these heavy-duty trucks that would ply our roads to the sub-region, to Burkina Faso, to Mali, for free. And they were those are the trucks that also destroy the roads. And they had to do it for free. Elsewhere, they will even be charged more than the regular Ghanaian vehicles that are registered in the country. So they just free until they get to Cote d'Ivoire and they start paying road tolls. And they pay road tolls till they get to their country. But as for Ghana, we are Father Christmas.
I think that the whole idea was not properly thought through at all. It didn't make sense that because we were bringing e-levy, road tolls had to leave or road tolls had to go. And the way it was even, cancelled, it didn't even make sense. You had one person declaring that road tolls collection was done, was cancelled, and that was it. It wasn't proper. And this same minister, Amakwata, who did that, read to you some time ago here, a story about him in Ashanti region when he was in traffic and he got angry that why should people be in traffic, because he felt it. So right from there, he began entertaining the idea that, road tolls collection should cease. And so when he got the opportunity, he did it. It didn't make sense to say, because you're bringing e-levy, road tolls, they are two different things. And now we don't even know what the e-levy is doing or where it is in terms of revenue generation, whether it's not meeting its targets really. And now we are having another discussion of bringing back the road tolls. The road tolls must come back. But I didn't think that they should have, tied it to the e-levy. There were two different things. And I didn't even see why one was going to, reduce the pain of the e-levy.
Yeah,
it was not going to reduce the pain of
many,
it was not going to reduce the pain of the e-levy. There are other taxes they could deal with. Taxes that affect everybody. Road tolls really don't affect everybody. Yeah. Road tolls don't affect everybody. It only, as it stands now, it only affects people who are traveling out of regions. Really. I didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't think it was properly thought through. I think it was rushed, and the way it was done was not proper. We should not be doing making policies like that. It doesn't make us look like serious people.
Okay. So it's going to be brought back next year, 2025. We hope that from now till next year, when it's brought, all the issues that came.
You see, if they say they're going to bring it back next year, then we need to see some real work this year. But we're in the middle of the year, 2-3 months time, we're going to hit, the height of campaigning.
The election.
When is the work going to be done? Okay, and next, after election, government will change. However you look at it, whether Bami or Mahama, government will change. You have to put their governments together, settle, do a lot of things. When next year are we going to see this? So is it just something they said, or they are saying for saying sake, or they really mean it? The toll booths, a lot of them have been cleared. A lot of them have been cleared. So we need to rebuild them. When are we going to rebuild them? When are we going to, if it's electronic, when are we going to set up the systems, train the people, etc.? I mean, it doesn't just look feasible for me.
Okay.
At least for next year.
Okay. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at our two main remaining stories, and then we'll wrap up. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Yvonne Kai Loco, here with Stella Madono as well as Samuel Atamens. And we're wrapping up on some of the big stories for the week. So as you're sharing with us some interesting figures with what we see with regards to road tolls across the continent.
Look, the people in the sector, they know this more than we do. And it's just something that, and this is 2013. The road toll has been harmonized to a $152 flat rate for all vehicles crossing the Tanzania border. The new charge applies regardless of axle load, destination, or country of registration. Let me move quick down. In fact, in some instances, Rwandan trucks were charged $500 by Tanzanian Revenue Authority, while Tanzanian registered trucks were charged $152 to enter Rwanda.
To pay your movement?
Yes.
Wow.
$500. 10 cedis, 20 cedis.
50 pesos for the small cars.
They mean business. So if you are coming from Burkina Faso, you are coming from Mali, you are coming from you are not coming here to come for a fanfare. You are coming
business.
to pick goods.
Yes,
and you have to pay.
And by our unique positioning, I mean these countries are landlocked countries.
So
by all means they will use it. And you have to make money from it. At least they are heavy trucks and they destroy the roads more. So you can't just be taking 5 cedis, 10 cedis, 20 cedis from them. And that's it.
How do you fix your roads with those small amount of money? Right, guys, let's wrap up with two stories. One to do with the cement price regulation. Katie Hammond is still, in the fray trying to get this thing through. He met with some manufacturers and there were some others who crashed the meeting, quote unquote, walking them out and all that. This thing is not going to end anytime soon. I think, so Katie Hammond has a certain personality, right? So he wants to try to push this. The cement prices very high. We will all be happy to have the prices down. So he has an idea to drive the prices. I don't know what information he has, but he thinks that we are paying too much.
We're paying is too much for what really it should be. So now he introduces this LI, which is still in the process of maturing in Parliament, and he was criticized that there was not enough stakeholder engagement, etc. So whilst the thing is in Parliament maturing, he is trying to do some stakeholder engagement. So I think 2 weeks ago we spoke about his supposed meeting with the manufacturers, where they were called into a media program and all of that. And I'm not sure that people were happy or partook in the meeting. Now he decided to go and meet the Chamber of Construction people. And the Chamber of Construction, I don't know how come, also invited the manufacturer. So he came, he realized the guys were there. And he said,
people were there.
He was not here for them because he had met them already and demanded that they should leave. Else he will leave. I thought he could have had a nicer way of doing it. See, you can be right, but the approach you employ is always key. He could do the general things and say, oh no, you guys have met you already. So I've heard your concerns. For now, I just want to hear these people, so you want to excuse us. You could say it in a nicer way. Or you could even call 2 or 3 of their leaders and tell them, we've met this, so this is these people's time. I've heard you. Your concerns have been taken aboard. We will deliberate upon them after we've collated views from everybody. So I don't think you really need to be here. We can take the initial, remarks, and then you take leave of us. That would have been nice. Wouldn't have generated this fury. It would have been the way to do it. But to insist that they should leave now, else you will leave and all, you have cabinet meeting and all those things, I didn't think it made him look very good. The idea may be good, but the execution of it, I think, was where he had a difficulty.
So construction chamber,
then manufacturers, cement
and then cement. Okay, so what I know is the cement manufacturers had requested to meet the construction chamber, which they met them and also tried to sell them their position on the issue. Now, construction chamber said, okay, fair enough. We also have been invited to meet with the minister, so why don't you come along so that we all engage the minister? So that was the basis for the cement manufacturers joining the construction chamber. The other thing is that some of the cement manufacturers are also members of the construction chamber. That's what I'm told. Having said that, I ask myself the question. Indeed, the minister is said to have met the cement manufacturers at an earlier meeting, and they popped up again because the issues have not been resolved. So I ask, what happens if you still deal with the construction chamber in the presence of the cement manufacturers? Don't you think it will be a better approach, because it will be talking to construction chamber, who will in turn go and talk to cement manufacturers? So if they are there, I thought that it was okay. Because you see, you may be angry at the way some persons or some groups have conducted themselves, but always remember that you are doing this on behalf of the country, Ghana. The issue of price control for cement, it will not happen. It won't happen. You cannot legislate pricing. It is not going to happen. Even if Parliament says it, it won't. It won't be implemented.
The market is
determined. I mean, 80% of their cost depends on forex. 80%. Unless you are going to give them a special regime of forex, and then you say that based on this, you are supposed to sell, so and so. But if forex is doing its own thing, unless you want to shut all the cement manufacturing companies, you saw the chain, their whole value chain.
What leads to the cost?
Raw materials per bag, 33 Ghana cedis. Government taxes, duties and levies, plus 22 Ghana cedis, bringing it to 55 Ghana cedis. Production cost, that's cost of fuel, electricity and things, 12 Ghana cedis per bag. Interest payments, depreciation, and so, 8 cedis per bag. Distribution cost, 5 cedis per bag. That's if you are in Accra. What are you left with?
Nothing. So he
think
has good
better,
intentions, but the approach...
The execution, I think, is a problem. The execution really is a problem. But again, I mean, just playing... I think the what's the name? The construction people should have told him earlier
that they were bringing these people.
Because
well,
maybe
they should have,
yes,
but they did not. What do we have?
Especially based on what had happened.
And I'm saying that at the end of the day, the minister will have to do more to bring them to table. He will have to do more to bring them to table because, you know, the stalemate is not sustainable. I understand that there are measures, you know, to bring everybody back to the table. So in the next week, something... you
are a cement manufacturer. This is the first thing you know a lot of.
No, I'm in the media. I'm in the media.
So, it's everywhere.
Yes, we love that thing.
I'm in the media, and we are interested in this cement issue.
Yeah.
We're interested in this cement issue. I mean, look, the spirit of what Katie Amon is trying to do is understandable.
Yeah.
That cement affects
all of
industry,
us.
in everything. So you can't be arbitrary in the way you price your cement. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But we should also understand the elements of the pricing. Okay? If we are saying that the LI is to compel them to open themselves up to monitoring, very well so. But where we depart from is where you legislate how much they should sell it.
They sell it for.
That's the only thing.
X-Factory. Okay. We have like 2 minutes to go, but I want us to touch on something, maybe a minute from each of you, on these abandoned projects that we see all over and the fact that it's becoming worse. This evening, we're watching one from our Volta regional correspondent on the resource center at Ho. Also left, left to rot and all that. Salom, 1 minute from then.
I think so. The idea to build resource centers very great. It's not even enough to have just one in a region or one in a whole district, but it's a good starting point. But so when you want to do some of these things, you prepare for them well. You gather the money, or you try to raise the money to an appreciable level, and then you ensure that you're able to see the project through. But what we see is that we see a lot of these projects starting, they don't end. One, for procurement reasons. People say in Ghana, a lot of things are procurement reasons. And number two is the politics of credit taking. So you start about 10 things at the same time, when you could have just started and completed 2 with the funds you have. But because you started a cut sword and did a foundation, in 20 years' time, whoever completes it must give you credit. And you can even claim that I started it. Yeah. And that is also part of the reason why a lot of these things happen. There's no reason why you should start, for example, 111 hospitals at the same time when you know you cannot complete them. You cannot complete, not because of time, but because the funding to complete them are not available. It's not available. Same thing for these youth resource centers. The youth really must be engaged, and these resource centers are there to help do this. If we are unable to get them finished because of money and because of improper planning, I don't think it's great. We really need to find a way around it.
Well, I think Salam has made the point. Well, what I saw in the whole place is it's just sad that we spend so much money build this. I mean, I don't think anybody in government will be proud of this. Nobody in government will be proud to see this spectacle. I don't know what happened to the secondary one.
The same left.
The secondary stadium one.
We were there 2 weeks ago or so. Any was there. Same thing.
I don't understand.
I
just don't
Azuma
get
and Nelson's don't sit in there.
Kaneshi just here. Yeah. Kaneshi Sports Complex. It's just been left. You understand? And there are some people in the system, they will make sure that everybody forgets. The next you see is that they bought the land and they started doing their own thing.
They sell it.
Hey.
Oh, Ghana.
Land grabbing. Anyway, thank you very much, gentlemen. Samantha Mensah here with us at City FM and City TV, and Selim Adono also here with us at City FM and City TV. My name is Vivian Kai. Look, thank you so much for joining us again. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.